This evening, family of deceased teen stages protest. Youth concert entertains hundreds. Hemp lobbying group encouraged by president's response. Patrons question Splashman's safety record. In the region, Brazil's Donald Trump is running for president. And internationally, South Korean politician commits suicide amidst corruption scandal.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Monday, July the 23rd, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. The number of Guyanese with internet access is steadily increasing, especially following recent actions by the Ministry of Public Telecommunications. According to its minister, Kathy Hughes, quote, the internet penetration rate in Guyana today stands at 305,007 persons. That means that 39.6% of the current population of this country are using and connected to the internet. It might sound low, but it's over 300,000 persons. She went on to describe the work of her ministry since its inception over 2 years ago, saying, we connected all the ministries at this point in time. Over 150 government agencies, over 195 schools, and we've created and opened in communities over 125 ICT hubs where there's free internet access. The lobbying for the cultivation of hemp in Guyana is intensifying, and the main group responsible for it are now excited because President David Granger has responded to one of their correspondences in writing. Wendell Jeffrey sat down with Vermin Badesi, chairman of the Guyana Hemp Producers Association, and filed this report.
You seem to be excited about
very much
where the hemp lobbying has gone so far, and you are in receipt of a letter from President Granger. Talk a little about why you feel excited about where you are now with your hemp proposal.
Well, the team has been lobbying for 2.5 years, going on 3 years. This July, I think, is 3 years, and I'm happy to see where it's gone. And a lot of activities have been underneath the radar, basically. But getting the letter from the president's office is showing that they're looking to support hemp, looking to fine-tune what needs to be done in order to legally grow it. So we're all happy because it's good for the country. Bottom line.
What does the letter say?
I wish to advise that these requests will be examined by Cabinet. I forward the letter to the Minister of Agriculture and Public Health for their attention. The Minister will respond to you after the request has been examined.
Are you a little more confident now with the letter in hand that the government will be more willing to engage you, or do you think that this letter might be just another way of the government kicking the can down the road?
I'm optimistic that it will happen soon. The world news, if you look at Canada, United States, and the world is growing hemp, and hemp is not a narcotic plant. You can smoke it all you want, you can eat it all you want, you're not going to get high.
To those whom you might define as ignorant in this regard, they keep tying hemp to marijuana. As a part of your educational strategy, do you think that you have to engage the government educationally too, or do you think the government has sufficient education to now make a decisive pronouncement on allowing for this?
The key members of the government has the education that hemp is not a narcotic plant. Like, for example, the Minister of Agriculture, he or she knows what hemp is all about. Even the Minister of Education knows about hemp. However, there's certain other ministers that make up a country parliament may not know. Growing hemp legally in New York State, we have the know-how, we have the expertise, and we will bring those expertise to Guyana to make sure it's successful for the farmers who want to grow hemp.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Today, Exxon Mobil has announced its increased estimated resources for the Stabroek Block offshore Guyana to more than 4 billion oil equivalent barrels and has advanced its evaluation to support a third phase of development and consideration of 2 additional phases. The estimated increase follows completion of testing at the Liza 5 appraisal well, a discovery at Ranger, incorporation of the 8th discovery longtail into the towboat area evaluation and completion of the Pecora discovery evaluation. The previous recoverable resource estimate was 3.2 billion oil equivalent barrels. Guyana's first development, Liza Phase 1, will use a floating production, storage, and offloading vessel to produce 120,000 barrels of oil per day, starting by early 2020. Liza Phase 2, which is targeted for sanctioning by the end of this year, will use an FPSO vessel designed to produce up to 220,000 barrels of oil per day and is expected to be producing by mid-2022. Wendell Jeffrey tells us that Saturday was a day of music celebration and praise hosted for and by the youth of Guyana.
When we come into the presence of the Lord, and we lift up, put him up, put him up, put him up now, and we make a joyful noise to him. It's okay if some people don't understand. Tell me why they don't. When I was sitting loud, who picked me up? When I was running dry, who picked my face? That's I almost lost my mind. Kept like giving up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Come and go to
That was the festive atmosphere that obtained at the 2018 Youth Summit concert on Saturday night at the Parkview Hotel on the east bank of Demerara. They sang along word for word to just about every song. They formed themselves into unity lines and marched around. They warmed up as though in a gym, and they moved in and out, in and out. Among the headliners were DJ Nicholas out of Jamaica, and he did not disappoint, performing some of his favorite hits. Also among the headliners were Kevin Smith, and he is also a Jamaican. And we had our own Samuel Midas.
I know people have to wake up. I mean, that one's yelling up. Half of the youth never told you about that. None of them out of the
I'm way up with him, way up with him. Let me tell you about royalty. I've got favor undeserved, blessing in abundance, rolling with protection, angels all around us, mention of his name, and my enemies are conquered, power in my word.
Some of the other artists that were local was Christina Richardson and Rondell DC Holder. There was even an altar call. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, patrons of Splashman's accuse them of unsafe business practices. But first, here's today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
The Big King you love just chickened out. Introducing the new Chicken Big King with 2 crispy chicken patties and our signature King sauce. The new Chicken Big King, now part of our Burger King favorites. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
I don't know why he don't find someone that's his own age and leave my mother alone.
You leave that to me. I can have a man to manage him. it's not okay for you to go with a young man.
Oh, so it's okay for you to go off with a 19-year-old, but it's not okay for me to go with a 40-year-old?
I tell you, you're 63 years old.
I know, and it feels great.
What's good for the goose? National Cultural Center, July 28, 29, and 30. Adults only.
The night you have been waiting for is finally here. Heavenly Light Mako presents Tasha Cobbs and her band live in concert. Now on the 14th of September at the National Stadium, 18:30 hours. Redeemers Band, All Women Worship Band, Sean Sobers, Sean English, the Minion Dancers, and many, many more. It's Tasha Cobbs and her band live at the National Stadium in Guyana. Tickets $2,000. Come experience the presence of the Lord as we worship the King together.
This is what shopping used to be. More plastic bags than I could carry or I could use. They always end up in the bin or as unsightly litter. Then it hit me. Get just one reusable bag. Now whenever I shop, I don't use plastic bags. I always have my reusable bag. It makes shopping a lot easier. And it's better for the environment.
Use one less disposable plastic bag. Make the switch to a reusable bag today. For more information, please call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.gy. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
Welcome back. On Sunday, a minor accident occurred in Georgetown. However, the place where it happened is a known intersection for accidents. Wendell Jeffrey has more in this report.
Yesterday, at the corners of Smythe and Hatfield Streets, Kamal Khan, who was heading east on Hatfield Street, drove over the speed hump, jumped the stop sign, and collided with Conrad Smith. Conrad Smith was traveling northward on Smythe Streets. What was very noteworthy was what Khan said about the accident. Khan was adamant that Smith, who had the right-of-way, had to stop to allow her to pass.
You're supposed to stop there. You don't blow on people in the corner. You're sick.
Wasn't he supposed to do the same too? Wasn't he supposed to do the same?
One of the officers who responded from the Brigdan police station to the accident took time to explain to Khan the basic road signs. Smith explained what happened to the police.
I need right. This woman come out here with a speed, she clipped in front and she can't spin around and start it. That's it.
Khan then told her side of the story.
So I came and made a good job. And I was proceeding. And as I was proceeding, he came and he made the impact. As you can see, I was already over the road here. And he hit me from the back. And the impact he hit me with, the car spin around as you can see here. Yes, but I made it as he was away. He wasn't as he was away. So I continued.
This Smythe and Hatfield Street junction is prone to accidents, and as a direct result, several persons have died at this corner. The government has recently installed stop signs and speed humps, but they have only reduced the accidents. Drivers' negligence or the ignorance of basic driving rules seem to be the problem. There was also a recent report that several persons have been buying their driver's license, many of them not knowing how to drive. Smith said that if he was traveling any faster, Khan would be dead.
I was proceeding this way. And when I approach here, I see a car coming from the side. The speed of the car coming, by the time I go up and break the car, swerve out there, clip me front and spin around and stop there. That is it.
I heard a loud impact, yes, I did hear
Yeah,
a loud
because
impact.
if I was proceeding ASA with speed, she would have dead.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. The family of 18-year-old Ronaldo Gomes is demanding justice for his death at Splashman's Resort. Wholly unsatisfied with the management's response, the group staged a public protest calling the water park a dead zone.
Because it's not only Ronaldo, it's many others that has gone before him. And we are calling it an end. We are saying enough is enough.
The family and friends of Ronaldo Gomes took to the streets demanding justice for his death.
Where was the lifeguards? Where were they when Ronaldo was hit by this boat? Why was a boat in the swimming zone or close to the swimming zone? What was done to move the boat away or the swimmers away from getting into contact with the boat? Nothing was done, and we are angered, and we are calling on the authorities to come out, to speak out, and to take action.
The group led a demonstration in front of the Ashman's Mall before marching to Splashman's main office on Hadfield Street. The protesters explained that they are wholly dissatisfied with how the owner of the resort, Lennox John, handled the teenager's death and the aftermath.
Never did he contact the family to say, I'm sorry. It happened on your property. Even if it's a courtesy call you make, if a dog dies on your property, you reach out to its owner. This is a human being. At no time did he even offer any form of support. And when you're in business, this is what is expected of you. It is expected of you to have those moral traits.
As previously stated, the family intends to sue the management of the water park, but will first weigh all options before making the next step. However, they intend to keep up the pressure until they receive some sort of restitution. Since the drowning death of Ronaldo Gomes, several persons have come forward with their own concerns at Splashman's. According to several patrons, the resort has a track record of flouting safety measures, and one legal expert says this could potentially land the management of the resort in some hot water. Esther Sobers dived deep into the issue and filed this report.
The highly publicized death of Ronaldo Gomes at Splashman Resort has caused many persons to scrutinize the safety measures in place at the resort. Questions are being raised as to if indeed there were 2 lifeguards on duty on the day in question, as claimed by the owner of the resort, Lennox John. Some are also questioning that the 18-year-old went beyond the ropes. However, several persons claiming to have been at the water park on the day made contact with Headline News. They refutes John's assertion, alleging that no lifeguards were present and it was a police officer who dived into the water to retrieve the teen's body.
One of the police, he dived down. If you talk to the police, he can say the same thing, they had to move down.
Members of the public have expressed frustration with the lack of movement on the case. In addition to refuting John's claims, one patron of the resort provided Headline News with a photo of the boat driver who is accused of causing Gomes' demise. He is now in police custody. Another person highlighted the dangers of the boat coming in contact with the safety rope, which has no indications of the dangers beyond the line.
Could actually touch the rope reasonable close, like this is the rope, and his engine was like here. So if you only come over it or so, which in the rope, I think I know net or nothing could stop you from going out. Like a couple times I went over the rope because it's just a rope. Again, nothing is preventing you from going out in the deep and the waves and so forth. Well, he actually did there the day for shoot, and I said how the person died, how I think he died.
Remember when we went driving in the engine, the people went making a set of turns close to the rope to make swelling for them people inside? Well, like the same swelling, pull he out from the rope and the engine foot cut off the neck and the ears and so.
This was his response.
Okay, I don't understand.
Overall, the common safety complaint seems to be that there are regularly no lifeguards present, among other things.
I was at Splashman's 3 months back. It was a Saturday, and I didn't notice no lifeguard. and all I see is a rope across, no sign marking like restricted area or nothing at all. And I got my workmate, her son died here, and since then she never go back.
Many concerns were raised in the past about safety measures in place at Splashmans, as this is not the first time someone lost their life at the park. In 2006, Andrew Anderson, a 22-year-old Jamaican national who was studying law at the University of Guyana, drowned at the Splashmans resort when he attempted to retrieve a football. According to an article in Starbrook News, a relative of the late Anderson pointed out that the creek is not well marked, leaving guests with no idea as to where they should go and shouldn't go. I can't imagine that right behind the goalpost there is a pool with no sign to warn persons that the water is deep there. If there was a sign, Anderson would have been alive. Safety concerns at the resort were highlighted 12 years ago when Anderson drowned, but no action was taken. Legal practitioner Melville Duke addresses the possible legal ramifications of the incident.
Incumbent upon the resort management and the resort owner to establish certain safeguards when you're inviting persons onto your premises as guests or for a day out. In this particular instance, it seemed to me that there might have been some deficiencies on the part of Splashmans vis-a-vis the lack of preparatory warning signs. You must be able to engage the public and tell them as to the perceptual dangers involved in swimming in certain parts of the resort. Must be clearly marked signs evidencing danger. Normally in the U.S. we have a skeleton and a crossbow, so do not swim beyond this point. These signs must be legible and positions where persons could see them at all times. Beyond that, there must be adequate lifeguard, adequate services provided to ensure that persons who are in difficulty in trouble in the water could be reached in a very easily and readily fashion.
With this in mind, one must ask, what other establishments in Guyana are neglecting safety of their patrons? For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, Brazil's Donald Trump is running for president, and South Korean politician commits suicide amidst corruption scandal. But first, here's this week's bridge retraction schedule.
The Big King you love just chickened out. Introducing the new Chicken Big King with 2 crispy chicken patties and our signature king sauce. The new Chicken Big King, now part of our Burger King favorites. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Endless possibilities. What else can she do?
We are sensual, sensitive, sexual beings. We need somebody to bring out the beast in us, the best in us. You leave her to me.
But I'm done with her. She'll be ready for the runway.
And darling, looking great, never hurts anyone.
What's good for the goose? National Cultural Center, July 28, 29, and 30. Adults only.
Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have so much waste to dispose of in the landfill? Well, composting can help us reduce the waste we dispose of by turning our organic waste into compost, which can be used to improve the quality of our soil.
Composting is very simple and convenient. You can compost using organic waste such as vegetable skins,
or fallen leaves and cut grass and put this in a composting bin or pile.
Compost can help your garden grow healthy plants while reducing your volume of waste. It's a really good way to keep our communities clean and healthy.
So,
Let's all start composting our waste.
Find out how easy it is. Call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.gy. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
The night you have been waiting for is finally here. Heavenly Light Mocko presents Tasha Cobbs and her band live in concert. Now on the 14th of September at the National Stadium, 18:30 hours. Redeemers Band, All Women Worship Band, Sean Sobers, Sean English, the Minion Dancers, and many, many more. It's Tasha Cobbs and her band live at the National Stadium in Guyana. Tickets $2,000. Come experience the presence of the Lord as we worship the King together.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go. Welcome back. Now here's Bibi Bacchus with the regional and international headlines of the day.
A controversial far-right politician, Jair Bolsonaro, has formally announced his candidacy in Brazil's presidential elections in October. The former army officer is currently in second place in the polls behind ex-president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. But Lula is in jail for corruption and is unlikely to be able to run. Bolsonaro has angered many in Brazil with racist and homophobic comments. However, he is followed by millions of Brazilians on social media, and many refer to him as the Brazilian Trump. A group of frustrated villagers used tires and even the frame of an old car to block the Potpourri Road in Trinidad and Tobago in protest over poor road conditions. Chairman for the Penal DB Regional Corporation, Alan Sami, said he was aware that the protest was organized, adding that the residents have complained for a long period of time, saying, quote, "People are saying that they are fed up, that they have been given enough warning, but the people, the government, are not responding appropriately, so they are taking this action as a last resort." Residents in the area claim that the roads have not been fixed since the last general elections in 2015. The protest began around 5 a.m. this morning, and thousands of people are said to be affected. And in international news, a gunman has opened fire on a busy avenue in Toronto, killing a young woman and injuring 13 other people, one of them critically, police said. The victim critically injured in the Canadian city's Georgetown district is a girl of 8 or 9. The gunman is dead. He was reportedly killed in an exchange of shots with police. The attack erupted on Danforth Avenue on Sunday evening when the area was packed with people. And finally, South Korean politician Roh Ho-chan was found dead on Monday. It appeared he may have taken his life amid him being embroiled in a corruption scandal. The body was found near a Seoul apartment building. Police said they believe Roh, 61, leaped to his death from the building after leaving a suicide note saying, "Dear fellow citizens, I'm sorry, it's entirely my fault. So please punish me." Roh also said in a note addressed to the party members that he had accepted 40 million won in 2016, but without granting any political favors in return. If Roh's death is officially determined as suicide, he would be the highest profile politician to kill himself since former South Korean president jumped to his death in 2009 amid a corruption scandal involving his family. For Channel 2 Headline News, Bibi Bacchus.
Thanks, Bibi. Here's the weather for the week. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, headlineNewsGuyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. But for now, we'd like to wish our Managing Director of Channel 2 Headline News, Kevin Victorine, a happy birthday. And for the rest of you at home, do have a blessed evening.